we go.
Well, there's where my van was, and now it's not. This is gonna be a pretty cool hike, I think. I'm starting to feel my socks get pretty wet. And this might go down as the worst hike I've done on the whole Pan Am. We are seeing more Sprinter vans down here than maybe anywhere. And we're gonna paddle over to the Marble Caves and check them out. I am here at the beautiful Rio Baker. Now my Starlink, it is almost on 24/7. Really glad we're here. This is awesome.
Waiting for the boat.
Waiting for the boat. We are at the very end of the Carretera Austral, and our Winnebago Revels have gotten us here. But I think right now, we're gonna see if we can get out of here without getting stuck.
I don't know, I kind of think we're gonna get stuck, but the sand is wet, so maybe that'll help us if we hurry.
It kind of looks like we're already stuck, but really, we're just in the ruts of whoever drove down here last, which was probably our friends from Hourless Life.
Turn off the nannies. All right, let's do it. He said he turned off all of the safety settings. They typically restrict us being able to go forward. We'll see, it looks a little deep. Here we go. Look at this. Here we go, here we go, here we go. She's doing pretty good. All right, no problem. Go, baby, go.
Well, there's where my van was, and now it's not, so we made it. We're out, we're on the road. I gotta admit, I was kind of hoping I'd get to pull down my Max Tracks and play with them a little bit, but that'll be another day. All right, I'm here at the Sendero Lagunas Los Cuetros, and I am headed up the trail to go on a little hike, which what sounds like it's gonna be a pretty neat lake back there. So I'm gonna go check it out. I'm not even 100 feet off the road, and I'm in this dark, old growth forest. This is gonna be a pretty cool hike, I think. All the trees are just covered in a thick layer of really beautiful green moss. So far, this has been an extremely muddy, wet hike. I'm starting to feel my socks get pretty wet. I just walked across the double log bridge. Actually, it was a lot more stable than it looks. All right, back into the forest. Let's see where this takes me. The forest is starting to thin out, and I can see an opening over here. That must be the lake. Ugh. Oh my gosh. Wow. This is terrible mud. I've made it to the lake. Gosh, it's really pretty, but I don't know if it's worth that 1.5 miles of walking through, ankle deep mud to get here. The mirror of the lake right now is just like glass smooth. Looks really pretty. I'm gonna have to do a few pictures here. It's all kind of swampy here on the edge of the lake though. There's no place really to just kind of sit and hang out. The lake was cool, but I've got to wade through all this mud to get out of here. So I'm gonna start back now and see if I can get back without losing a shoe in the mud. If I was unfortunate enough to get lost in those thick reeds and in that downed timber, what would I have needed to survive? Now I want you guys to help me think of something that's not so cumbersome. I wouldn't just bring it on a day hike like this. Now this is gonna literally be a 1.5 mile hike close to the van, but still in a pretty wild and remote place. And what do you think I should have had with me? Just in case it went worse than it did and I ended up maybe having to spend the night out here, or God forbid you get hurt and you can't get yourself out and you need to sit tight for a while. What should I have with me? So leave that down in the comments down below. I would love to hear your ideas. And this is something I'm thinking about putting together for a future video. Feels really good to be on the trail, even if it looks like this. I'm on the last few steps up to the parking lot. Should be able to see the van here any second. If you come here, don't do this hike. Don't do it. It's not worth it. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, Carretera Austral. We are moving southbound. We just keep having to stop, it seems like, around every corner because the views are just breathtaking here. This is just so gorgeous. We are seeing more Sprinter vans down here than maybe anywhere. We just got passed by a FedEx van that was a Sprinter van. We've seen all kinds of ones that are used as taxis and tour buses. A lot of Europeans and even some other Americans are down here with Sprinter vans. It is very possible to tour around down here comfortably in your Sprinter van. DEF is commonly available in Chile. We think the van is where it's at for doing the Pan American. It has worked great. All right, let's keep moving southbound. We're in the town of Kayak, Patagonia, and we're going to a little overlander recommended spot here, a restaurant in town. We're gonna check it out. It's happened 1,000 times. We sat down to a beautiful restaurant, to a wonderful meal, and I ate it before I could film it to show you guys. I'm so sorry, I'm the worst at that. But this time we have at least the dessert to show you. This looks like it's gonna be really good. Brownies with chocolate goodness. And look at how they did the fork and the spoon in the powdered sugar. It's a very nice touch. And I think George likes his.
Yummy, yummy.
All right, that was really a good lunch stop. Let's keep going southbound. All right, we're here at a little local tire shop. I've had my right front tire losing 1 to 2 PSI every day or so. Keep airing it back up. We've done that 4 or 5 times now. And since we're finally in a major city, I figured I'd just get it looked at and pull the wheel, get it plugged. I think it's probably just a small nail, a tiny little leak, but it's good to get it checked out. So that's what we're gonna do now. Can you do? Yeah. Ah, bien. No sé. Okay. Ah. Oh yeah. Okay, so it's leaking right there around the edges of the valve stem. Not really where it seals with the wheel, but where the quick deflate lever is. Okay, so I do have a small leak around the valve stem. I need to check into it a little bit. I don't know if the core is bad. I could replace that and see if that makes a difference, or if it's where it's actually sealing on the quick release side of things. But it is a very, very slow leak. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I do have my spare with another valve stem, and I mean, we could always put a new valve stem in this wheel and it would be fine too. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it. There are tire shops all the way down here, so if I need to address this a little later, that'll be fine too. But it's good to know where the leak is and what's going on. I love these Apex valve stems. They are great, and this is the first problem I've had with them. But you know, I've had problems with other valve stems in the past too, so I'm not really holding them at fault, but it's something we're going to want to keep an eye out for. All right, let's keep going southbound.
This morning we are at Lago General Carrera. This is quite a large lake that's over here. And the thing that makes it super interesting to us is this is where the marble caves are. We're gonna take one kayak and one pack raft, and we're gonna paddle over to the marble caves and check them out.
We have about a 3/4 to a mile paddle to get over to where the caves are. Kathy's gonna be paddling this awesome Kokopelli Nirvana pack raft. This thing folds up, very small, about the size of like a nice sleeping bag. It is very capable of running rivers or paddling, you know, across a lake like this, of course. And then today I'm paddling my Jackson Kayak Antics 2.0. This is the boat that I probably love the most in the river. So these two boats aren't ideal for the type of paddling we're doing today, going a long ways on flat water, but you use what you got, right? And that's what we got, so we're gonna go for it. It's so beautiful out here, and we're not even to the caves yet. All right, here we are at the Marble Caves. What an interesting place this is. I've been in lots of caves in sea kayaks. These are beautiful. It just looks like a sculpted cathedral here. It's so wild to see. This is definitely worth the paddle over. I can't believe how carved and fluted these things are. We're at the entrance to the big tunnel. This is one they actually bring the power boats through. Wow, this is amazing.
I've never seen anything like this. This is incredible.
This is cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anytime you get a kayak through a cave, it's a pretty cool experience. so amazing that nature can create something like this. All right, so I've got all my camera gear down here in this Watershed bag. This is a waterproof duffel bag. It is about the only thing I really trust my cameras to in water. It's way more secure than Pelican cases. It can take a beating, where Pelican cases tend to expand and contract, and then they'll suck a little moisture through the seal, through the door. I've used these extensively in whitewater, and they've never let me down. The other thing I like that's nice about it is I can open it up in calm places like this, and I can have all my stuff right there where I can get to it, and I can take a picture, and then I can roll it back up, put my skirt on, and keep going. All right, I think we're on our way back.
I am here at the beautiful Rio Baker. This is probably the most Gatorade blue colored river I've ever seen. It is beautiful. I'm just gonna jump on it by myself real quick and do a quick little rundown through some pretty big rapids, but nothing too crazy. Here we go, let's do it. Bon voyage.
Ciao, ciao.
See you down there.
You bon voyage.
Well, there it is. Cool little section on the Rio Baker I got to do. And boy, did I get to see it. That's it. Off to camp. And tomorrow we go southbound.
Well, this is really exciting. We are here at the confluence of the Rio Baker and the Rio Nef. These are two of the most important rivers here in Chile and in Patagonia. The Rio Baker being the largest, and it flows from the Patagonian ice fields all the way to the Pacific Ocean. It's known for its glowing blue turquoise waters, like I just kayaked, and that comes from glacial sediment that's in the water that comes this whole distance through. The confluence here, where the two rivers come together, the Baker and the Nef, is a really special place because the Nef has kind of dirtier, different colored water, and it mixes in with the blue of the Baker, and it makes a kind of interesting phenomenon where the waters swirl around and you can see a distinct line where the two rivers collide. We have got a wonderful camping spot up here on the hill. This is going to be a beautiful place, and in fact, as I look down into the canyons of the Baker, I can see one of the first really huge rapids. Now, this is a very serious river downstream, has some huge Class 5 rapids that are legendary in the whitewater community. But this is where we're gonna call home tonight. You can see Jorge's up here on the hill above us. And then I've got all my kayaking gear out here drying. Hopefully I can get it all dried out before I have to put it away before we drive on tomorrow. right, so this is a great example of something I've been wanting to illustrate for a little while. We are parked here in this beautiful spot, but it's surrounded by trees and it's in a big, deep valley on top of that. So our Starlink is having a little bit of a hard time connecting, right? It's blocked by the trees. Now, if you don't know Starlinks are satellite internet connection, and it requires a direct view of the sky so the satellites can see it and it can communicate, right? Well, trees are a problem. Cliff faces, mountains are a problem. Now, my Starlink, it is almost on 24/7. It works while we're driving. It requires zero setup when we stop somewhere to get on the internet or to use it in motion. Now, with my Starlink being permanently mounted on the roof, it comes with the problem of what happens when I park under trees like we are right here. Well, I have a good solution for you. My Starlink is using a Starlink mount, and I have the version 2 that's the articulated Starlink. Now, I've disabled the motor, so it no longer moves. I mean, I could plug it back in and make it move, but it no longer just normally moves. It is flat mounted, meaning that it is mounted on the roof, flat. It sits down between my crossbars. It's protected from tree limbs. It's great. Now, it is mounted on the roof using some very strong magnets. This allows it to ride up there no problem. It is no way it's gonna ever fall off. But when I get to a place like this and I'm under the trees for where I actually wanna park, but it's blocking the signal, I can pull my Starlink off, as you see right here, and move it out from under the trees to a place where it'll actually work. And I can run this thing out about 70 feet or so from the van. And in this case, we're parked in the edge of the trees, right on the edge of this riverbank. And where the river is, there's a great view of the sky, but I can't drive all the way over here. But being able to pull my Starlink down, move it over here, and put it on this log gives me the ability to have great internet and still be able to park where I want to park. So that's what I wanted to show you today, is this Starlink mount. Now, you can mount Starlinks probably 100 different ways, but this way works really good for me. And really, however you do it, I think consider using magnets or some sort of a quick release system. So when you do want to park under the trees, you can still have ripping fast internet. So there's a tip for now from the Pan American Highway. Hope you guys find this useful. Please hit the like and subscribe down below if you do. We have made it to the cool little village of Tortel. Now, this is situated right in one of the bays, or maybe this is actually a fjord. And you park up the hill and then you walk down these stairs all the way to the water's edge, and then there's a series of boardwalks. It's rained most of last night, so the stairs are wooden and they're a little slippery. So we're taking it easy with Kathy's ankle, but this place is beautiful and we're looking forward to checking it out. Wow, many stairs. This is not a big deal going down, but I'm starting to think it's gonna be quite a chore to get out of here because we're gonna have a ton of stairs to go up. This place is just beautiful though. Now, this is off the Carretera Austral by maybe, I don't know, 45 minutes or so. Really glad we're here. This is awesome. We have made it down to sea level and the boardwalk just keeps going on. We're gonna walk down here and check it out. All right, Tortel, what a cool stop. I'm glad we came here. It feels very Alaskan to me. This reminds me of Ketchikan and some of those kind of places. We're gonna go back up the hill a little different way. We've got mini stairs to go up. So it is just boardwalks instead of streets. Really cool wandering around here, seeing all these little cabins that are built kind of up here on the side of this mountain all the way down to the water's edge. But there's no roads through most of this. You're just walking these boardwalks. You kind of get a little exploration, exercise, fresh air, all in one stop. We just pulled up to Porto Yungay. This is gonna be a shorter ferry ride and it's gonna hop us across. And then all we have left is the last little southern bit of the Carretera Austral. It's kind of sad because I'm really enjoying it here. There he is.
Waiting for the boat.
Waiting for the boat. We've waited here for, I don't know, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and the ferry just came and left. It was a small ferry, so it only held maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 cars. And we're still in line, and it looks like there's about that many people ahead of us. So who knows, maybe we'll catch the next one, maybe we one after that, but I think they come here every hour. So we're here for a little while. Okay, another ferry's here. Hopefully we get on this time. We made it onto the ferry. We are now underway. This is kind of a small ferry boat. Well, we're getting close to where we're going to get off over here. Clouds are low, but you can see all the waterfalls that are coming down because it's been raining off and on most of today. It's just beautiful here. The Carretera Austral, what a cool thing, and we're getting close to the end. In fact, we are not far now from O'Higgins, which is the end of the road, but we'll talk about that more when we get there. All right, here it is. We're pulling into the dock right now. All right, as usual, I milk all my time on the deck as possible. Got to get down to the van now to be ready to drive off because they like to get us off of here fast. I just love these ferries though. Ferries are awesome. Well, looky here. Where are we? We are at the very end of the Carretera Austral. How do I know this? Because there's a sign right here that tells me we have been 1,247 kilometers to get to this point from where it starts. And our Winnebago Revels have gotten us here, and it has been such a treat to get to drive this road. I get it now why so many people say this is such an epic drive. I've heard quite a few people say this is one of the top 3 scenic drives in the whole wide world. And I think they're right. This drive to me feels like a mixture of what we drove in Norway, plus Alaska, plus maybe some of the trees and the beautiful scenery of the Pacific Northwest. It blends all that together, and it is the Carretera Austral. But I think now when I go to those places, I'm gonna say, this reminds me of Chile. All right, so here's the finish sign that says we're at the end of the road. But if I look over here on the back side, it says kilometer 0. That's because if you're going northbound, this is the start, right? This is the other end. Now, you know by now from watching our journey, we are all about going southbound, at least for a little while longer. And this was a major step in us on our quest to go to the bottom of South America. So we couldn't be more excited to be here. We have had an incredible time. This has been an amazing journey, and I'm so happy you guys are here with us. If you wouldn't mind, please hit the like and subscribe button and ring the little bell next to it. That'll notify you of our next video upload. We're gonna take you along on more and more adventures. We still have a lot more to show you before we get to the bottom, and then a lot more after that. So I wanna thank you guys for watching this video, and a massive thanks to our patrons, these guys right here. You guys make it happen, and we appreciate it so, so much. So from Chilean Patagonia, there's only one more thing to say. I hope I see you somewhere over the horizon. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.